can I just remind everybody, please, that might have any type of electronic device upon them, and principally I'm thinking of a mobile telephone here, that at any point during the evening is likely to ping, ding, ring, play a Des O'Connor tune, or moo like a cow. Could you turn it off, please? Or silence it, or drop it into champagne. The show will start very shortly, when the pleasant repast that Leonardo and his family are enjoying here is rudely interrupted, very rudely interrupted, by a very urgent message. Perhaps a slightly belated, very urgent message. The first half will be approximately 1 hour 20 minutes, after which there will be a 15-minute interval, and we must keep it strictly to 15 minutes, otherwise it's going to be midnight before we finish. And the second half is just over an hour. So, without any further ado about anything, much ado about nothing.
I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina?
He is very nearby this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have they lost in this action?
But few of any sort and none of name.
Victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro has bestowed much honour on a young Florentine named Claudio.
Much deserved on his part, and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing in the figure of a lamb the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better bettered expectation than you must expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina, will be very much glad of it.
I have already delivered him letters, and there appears much joy in him, even so much that joy could not show itself modest enough without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
Kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better it is to weep at joy than to joy at weeping.
I pray you, is Signor Mountonto returned from the wars or no?
I know none of that name, lady. There was none such in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedict of Padua.
Oh, he's returned and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him to the bird bolt. But I pray you, how many have he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many have he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedict too much. But he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service, lady, in these wars.
They have had musty victual, and he hath helped to eat it. He's a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady, but what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with all honourable virtues.
Oh, it is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There is a kind of merry war betwixt Signor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with one. So, that if he hath enough wit to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth the man hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is't possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, the gentleman is not in your books.
No, anywhere I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young square now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is most in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord! He will hang upon him like a disease. He's sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedict, it will cost him £1,000 ere he be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good Signor Leonardo, you have come to meet your trouble. The fashion of the world is to avoid cost. And yet, you encounter it.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes his leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. This, I believe, is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedict! Why, no, for then you were a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man, for truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, for you are like an honourable father.
If Signor Leonardo be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders for old Messina, as like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedict. Nobody marks you.
My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die when she hath such meat food to feed it to Signor Benedict? Courtesy itself would convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain, I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. Yeah, and I would I could find in my heart that I'd not a hard heart, for truly I love none.
A dear happiness to women. They would else have been troubled by a pernicious suitor. I thank God and my cold blood I'm of your humour for that. I had rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind. So, some gentleman or other shall scape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching cannot make it worse than to such a face as yours were.
Well, you're a rare party.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good a continuer. But keep your way. A God's name, I have done.
Oh, you always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
And that is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Benedict, Signor Claudio, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he hardly appraise some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you will not be forsworn. May I bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please it your grace, lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo. We'll go in together.
Benedict! Didst thou know the daughter of Signor Leonardo?
I know that or not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she's too low for a high praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome, and being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinks I'm in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thy likes her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it into. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go on the song?
In mine eyes, she is the sweetest lady that I ever looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and she were not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you've no intent to turn husband. Have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I swore on the contrary if Hera would be my wife.
It's come to this. In faith hath the world not one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion. Shall I never see a bachelor of 60 again? Go to, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro's returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you follow not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio? I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this. On my allegiance, he is in love.
With who?
With who? Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonardo's short dog.
If this was so, so were it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so, nor 'twas not so. but indeed, God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Amen, if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
Ah, you speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two faiths and trust, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
Oh, that she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, no, how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
I never could maintain his parts, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But all women shall pardon me, because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for the which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than I will get a game of drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me up at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou wilt fall from this faith, that will prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat, and shoot at me. And he that hits me, let him be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try, in time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may. But if ever the sensible Benedict Burke pluck off the bull's horns, set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted. And in such great letters as they write, here is good horse to hire, let them signify under my sign, here you may see Benedict the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid hath not spent all of his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too then.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonatus, commend me to him, and tell him I will not fail him at supper, for he hath made good preparation.
I have almost matter enough of me for such an embassage, and so I commit you
To the tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
They mock not. The body of your discourse is sometime guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any further, examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Leonardo any son, my lord?
No, no child but Hero. She's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
No, my lord. When you went onward with this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task in hand than to drive like into the name of love. But now I am returned, and those war thoughts have left their places vacant. In their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Well, thou shalt be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou loves fair Hero, cherish it, and I will with her father break, and to conclude thou shalt have her, for 'twas not to this end that thou began to twist so fine a story.
How sweetly you do minister to love, than to know love's grief by his complexion. But lest my like him might too sudden seem, I would have sold it with a longer treatise.
What needs a bridge much greater than the flood? The fairest grant is in the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovest, and I will give thee remedy. I know we shall have revelling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero I am Claudia, into her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her hearing prisoner with the strong and force encounter of my amorous tale. Then, with her father will I break, and she shall be thine. Let us put it into practice presently.